Sports Desk. The Milwaukee Brewers fell to the Chicago Cubs for the first time this year, 8-2 at American Family Field on Saturday. The crew will look to take the series today in the final game.
2-1. And he's swinging away, hits a ground ball to first base, and he'll just jog up the line, and that's going to do it. 3-1 on the putout, an 8-2 Cubs victory to even the series at a game apiece.
The game begins this afternoon at 1:10 with our coverage beginning at noon with Dom and Brewers warm-up. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. No major issues or delays, just a few disabled vehicles along I-94 heading westbound into the Milwaukee, Waukesha, Delafield area. Otherwise looking pretty clear across the rest of the system.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Here's your WTMJ forecast. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers later on with a high of 75 near the lake and 85 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 69 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 66 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
Having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave.
Oh, yeah, that is the headline this morning. We are going to be having a heat wave. And joining us to talk about it is TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson. Hey, Brendan, it's going to be a hot one.
It is. Libby, how are you?
I'm great. It's wonderful to have you back with us on a Sunday morning.
Yes, it's been a while. Good to be here with you.
Well, and I can't think of a better way to lead you in there with Marilyn Monroe singing. We're having a heat wave because what the heck is going on? I mean, yesterday was absolutely beautiful. Today's supposed to be nice. But this week, it's like they're throwing us in an oven.
I know. And Friday, I mean, we were in the low 60s. It almost felt so chilly you needed a jacket. And I was telling everybody, I'm like, listen, you all might be cold, but you're going to be begging for this weather by the time we get to next weekend. But yeah, Libby, a big heat dome is set to really plant itself over the eastern U.S. for the next several days. So today we'll get into the mid-70s lakeside, low 80s farther inland, and then we're going to hit that first thing tomorrow morning. That just kind of tells you how hot it's going to get. And then we're looking at the low to mid 90s for high temperatures pretty much every single day this week as we approach the 4th of July holiday.
Well, okay, so usually at night it gets cooler, and I guess that's going to happen, but tell us exactly when all of a sudden those temperatures are going to start to spike.
Yeah, so we're looking at the temperatures to really start ramping up tomorrow. And you make a good point. Yes, technically our temperatures do come down at night. They will cool off, but not so much. We're talking about low temperatures each and every day this week in the 70s. Dew points are going to be in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. So it is still going to remain fairly humid, no matter if it's the heat of the afternoon or the middle of the night. So there just isn't a lot of relief at nighttime. And I know that is going to be particularly challenging for folks that live around Milwaukee and don't have access to air conditioning. So it's going to be a pretty rough 5 days or so. The last time we had a string of 5 or more days of 90 plus degree temperatures in Milwaukee was the end of July back in 2021.
Wow. Are you kidding? It's been 5 years?
Yeah, it's been a while. We don't get these kinds of strings of hot temperatures often. So tomorrow and Tuesday really look to be the hottest days. Our heat index values could top 100 to 105. There could be a few spots, Libby, that we see heat index values over 105. That would be more likely farther inland. I think the lake might help us out a bit tomorrow in Milwaukee, Ozaukee, and Sheboygan counties. And I do want to mention we have an extreme heat watch in place for pretty much all of southeastern Wisconsin, with the exception of our lakefront counties, Milwaukee, Ozaukee, Sheboygan. And that's to account for that potential of seeing a heat index value of 105 or greater.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you mentioned it's a heat dome over the whole eastern part of the country. What do you mean by a heat dome?
Yeah, so it's an area of high pressure that pretty much suppresses any showers or thunderstorms. So we get this really, really hot air that just kind of sits over part of the United States. And so usually it's a heat dome. It's just a giant dome of hot air that is in place. And we wind up not seeing it move because the overall pattern in the atmosphere is kind of locking it into place. And that's, it happens over the summer. This definitely can happen. And so that's going to be in place for several days. And we're going to keep that warm and humid weather going right into the 4th of July holiday as well. I will tell you there are some increasing rain chances towards the end of the week, starting Thursday into Friday, as this heat dome starts moving east and sinking a bit south. There's always this narrow corridor of showers and storms at the northern ridge of this area of high pressure, this dome. We call those the Ridge Riders. We call it the Ring of Fire pattern. Sometimes Wisconsin's in the middle of it, but this time it's going to be way up to our north. As that heat dome moves, we may see some better rain chances.
Do you think
some
there's
of those
any
pop-ups?
Do you think there's any chance of severe weather?
With this, it being this hot, I certainly think it's a possibility, but it'd be more so for hail and maybe even some gusty winds as those thunderstorm updrafts start to collapse. So it's less of a tornado threat, no organized severe weather. But, when you get this hot, this humid, there's just so much instability and moisture to take advantage of. So we'll keep an eye on things, but right now, low-end severe threat, it's just going to be, I really think folks are going to want the rain because it does offer us a bit of a reprieve from the heat. Those super soaker thunderstorms can drop the temperature.
Well, you are going to be busy at the TMJ4 Weather Center watching this week. And what do you think the worst day is going to be heat-wise?
As of right now, it looks like tomorrow and Tuesday. I've got high temperatures in the mid-90s for much of southeastern Wisconsin, and then that heat index, like I mentioned, could reach or even exceed in some spots 105 degrees. With the chances of rain, that always gives us a little bit of leeway. If we do get some pop-up shower and storm chances, that can mess with the high temperature. But hey, I take it. It can give us some nice relief. But again, we'll see those rain chances stair-step up Thursday and into the beginning of the weekend.
Well, Brendan, it is always great to talk with you. I've missed you over the last several months.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be with you.
Brendan Johnson, TMJ4 meteorologist. And if I don't talk to you before then, have a happy 4th of July.
You too.
Thank you. Stay cool. All right. It is 8:14 on WTMJ, and we've got a very busy show this morning. As we said, this week is the 4th of July, and we're going to be joined once again by Rosie Rio. She is chair of America 250, and you won't want to miss what she has to say about this 4th of July and what's going on. Also, new at 9, Giannis was big news this week, and we talk with Mark Cass from Team Lammy about Giannis, not the business angle or the sports angle. It's the personal angle of how his moving from Milwaukee to Miami might affect him and his family. It's really interesting conversation. All right. And then a few weeks ago, we had bear sightings in southeastern Wisconsin. And of course, a lot of people complain about the increase of coyote activity. We're going to tell you why urban areas are seeing increased wildlife, including the reports of a city that literally has hundreds of thousands of raccoons. Hundreds of thousands. That's a lot of raccoons. Tim Gibbons is here. He has news about a new chicken chain coming to Wisconsin. Also, our consumer expert has a warning about data recovery scams. Sandy Max has been at Summerfest, and she'll tell us about Post Malone and also Hank Azaria and his show last night at Summerfest. Also, we're going to take a look back at the week in review. We've got Isaiah Spencer back. He's in the newsroom. Isaac's here pushing those buttons. And coming up in just 2 minutes, Eric Bilstead highlights an everyday hero on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the July Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want And in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases. And it's free. Stop in today and save now during the Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
A new deck from Outdoor Living Unlimited is built to last. We are Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck installation team. For amazing ideas, go to Outdoor Living Unlimited's Instagram page. For a free estimate, go to OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Some rivalries need no introduction.
And a high fly ball deep right field. This ball's way back there. That one's off the scoreboard and over and out of this ballpark.
The Brewers and Cubs face off today at American Family Field.
And the Brewers all over the Cubs. It is 8-0 Milwaukee.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35. This series is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategy. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
8:17, 66 degrees at WTMJ, and it's time to recognize another everyday hero. Here's WTMJ's Eric Bilstad.
An everyday hero is when we celebrate an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Fruitland, Iowa, near the Quad Cities. Two 13-year-old boys, Gunnar and Cohen, were out for their daily bicycle ride one morning when they noticed something that just didn't seem right. In the distance, off the trail, appeared to be a woman.
I went to the trail, and then he's like, "You see that lady back there?" I was like, "No," and then we went back and looked, and it took me a while to find her, and I found her, and then I was like, "Hey ma'am, are you okay?" She was like, "Yeah, I need help, call 911.
Gunnar tells KWQC TV6 News that this lady had fallen. She told them she was feeding her horse when she slipped and hurt herself. She was calling for help. No one was coming, so she began to crawl to the closest trail so someone would see her. She'd been out there for more than 12 hours.
She didn't have her phone or the water or anything. She was there for 16 plus hours.
And Cohen says she wasn't in good shape.
She was scared because you could just tell because her face, she was covered in all bugs, covered in all these bugs and stuff.
So police were called and the woman was saved, taken to the hospital where she is recovering now, and it wasn't good. She likely would not have survived had these boys not seen her and acted.
A few more hours and she definitely would not have made it.
Thank you, Gunnar. Thank you, Cohen. You are everyday heroes. If you'd like to see the story about the boys, just text the word hero to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
Thanks a lot, Eric. That's a great story. Coming up next, we've got Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Believe it or not, there's another chicken chain coming to Wisconsin. He'll tell you about it in Businesses right here on WTMJ.
Want to see my drawers?
He means the drawers of the Briley bedroom from Penny Mustard.
Not all drawers are created equal.
But the Briley bedroom's drawers are equally awesome.
With full extension drawer glides and sturdy bottoms that are 3/8 of an inch thick.
And that's good because nothing's worse than when your bottom falls out.
He means your drawer bottom.
But the Briley bedroom is more than just drawers.
I love the flared feet and how the shape of the headboard matches the mirror.
Along with hundreds of fabric options for the headboard and a variety of hardware.
And drawer bottom strong enough to stand on.
You know, if we dedicate this much time to the drawers, just imagine how well constructed the rest of the Briley bedroom must be.
What are you waiting for? Come see my drawers.
The Briley bedroom, starting at just $552 a month with no interest till December of 2027 through July 5th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of the drawers people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
Picture this: a perfect summer evening, great friends, and dinner on the patio overlooking a beautiful course. That's Racine Country Club. More than golf, it's a place to relax, gather, and belong. A new energy is here, and you're invited to experience it. From great food to unforgettable events, it's a lifestyle built around community. Whether it's a quick 9 after work, dinner with friends, or a weekend with family, Racine Country Club offers something for everyone, year-round. Discover what's new at Racine Country Club. Visit racinecountryclub.com.
It's time to check in with Tim Gibbons, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And our heads are still reeling, Tim, over the news this week that Giannis is finally going to leave us. And I think, people were hoping that was just not going to happen. But I think what we're really wondering is, what is the impact going to be on the actual business of the Bucks?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. Obviously, a sad day for Milwaukee. There's the impact, obviously, on the court, and I am utterly unqualified to even begin to talk about that.
As am I.
So we'll leave that for the experts. But the impact on the Bucks organization is going to be interesting to watch. Obviously, there's going to be some impact to ticket sales and things like that. These are people who go to games to see Giannis, and without him there, they're going to rebuild, and I'm sure that they'll rebuild that fandom. The other interesting bit, though, is that Giannis put the Bucks, and in some ways put Milwaukee, on a global stage that his departure removes us from. The Bucks were one of 2 NBA organizations who really leaned into this international branding sort of thing. They had an executive based overseas who worked on sponsorships and things like that. I was talking to somebody the other day who talked about, you go to the NBA store in Times Square and there's a big Milwaukee Bucks display, because for international visitors, he's somebody they know. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, but it is a loss both for the organization, and I think you could say for Milwaukee overall.
And the thing is, too, Bobby Portis is leaving, who is probably the second most popular person. And I think at least if he had stayed, there'd still be a feeling of, okay, we got our guy on the court. With him gone, the average person doesn't even know the names of the people on the team.
Right. I mean, Visit Milwaukee had Portis as a spokesperson, very much a branding tied to the area. And that, now talk to people who were there when the new players were introduced and give them time, and I'm sure that they will get embedded in the community as well. But there has been so much turnover of people who really felt like they were part of the community in a way that I don't think happens on every team. Talking to a friend in the media, the way the Miami Herald covered Giannis going to Miami was obviously much different than the way it was covered here of him leaving.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, that's a whole other discussion. All right, let's move along, Tim, because we've been talking about this story for several weeks, and that is the Milwaukee Rescue Mission plan to build a campus in New Berlin. A lot of people in the town very upset about it, and they got bad news this week.
They did. It's going to be interesting how it plays out. So let me get into some of the nuances of this. So quick summary to bring people up to speed. Milwaukee Rescue Mission wants to set up this facility that would help those in addiction recovery. The usage was considered to be a church, which is allowed in the zoning in the piece of land where they were going to set it up. Residents who didn't want to come fought back against that land use designation, and that's the bad news they got this week, is that their push to have that characterization, their push to overturn it, was unsuccessful. Now, here's the big question. What happens next? Because it's good news for the rescue mission that was not overturned, but they still have a bunch of other procedural steps they have to get taken care of, and it's a little bit up in the air as to what's going to happen on those. So despite this being a important step, the story isn't over yet.
Okay. And I know you're right on top of that one, so stay tuned. All right, let's talk about condos. A lot of people like living in high rises. They want to be able to be downtown, and they had some really good news this week.
Yeah, talk about things that's going to be fun to watch play out. So what you just said is true, and I would add to it is there's a lot of people who want to live downtown. They want to live in multifamily, but there's also a group of those people who want to own it. And, by and large, most of the stuff that's been built downtown has been apartments. So condos are being posed for downtown, first time in like 2 decades that a new high-rise luxury tower would be built. So Newland Enterprise unveiled these plans on Monday, 25 stories, and these are not cheap. The penthouse would go for something around $3 million. You can get in on a one-bedroom for, the bargain price of like $450,000.
Oh, actually, that's affordable for a lot of people.
Yeah, if you're looking to buy a luxury condominium, yeah, it is. Interestingly, the bottom is going to be what they call like a podium, and then this will be built on top of it. So the lowest apartments are going to be on like the 8th floor. So whatever level you get, you're going to have a view. None of this, ground floor nonsense.
Wait a minute, what's going to be on those lower 7 levels?
So they're looking at various amenities, co-working spaces, fitness centers, things like that. And, I assume as the plan is developed, we'll get more details on what exactly is going to be in that bottom spot.
Okay, we're talking with Tim Gibbons, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. And boy, talking about good news. The Medical College of Wisconsin's Cancer Center got an amazing donation this week. And I think a lot of eyes are opening like, how much was it?
Yeah, so this was from the Michaels family. It was $27 million. The medical college is obviously very grateful for this. So the donation came out of a really tough situation for any parent to deal with. The Michaels family's daughter was diagnosed with cancer when she was 11. And I can't imagine what the family went through, but good news is she's a survivor. It's been 15 years, and the family has been supportive of cancer research and the fight against cancer in other ways. When the medical college opened up its new cancer center, that piqued the interest of the family, and they started having conversations about how they could support it. So I think we've talked in this program about the cancer center. That's a big deal. That was a big deal when it opened on its own. It's the second cancer center in the state, the only one in this part of the state, and it's a really big deal for the medical college. What this donation will do is help ramp up using that center. It will help them in attracting more researchers. It will let them do more clinical trials. It will basically let the center be used to its fullest ability with this funding.
Which is fantastic news. But a lot of people are saying, how did the Michaels family make all that money?
They do construction, and energy infrastructure is the main thing. So you might have seen the company's name most frequently on road projects, but you don't make the type of money to make this type of donation doing road projects. The margins on that are really slim. But they do energy infrastructure, which is a very technical type of construction.
Let's take a quick look at some retail news. And the Couture is getting a retailer in the building.
Yeah, this is a fun little space. So it's called the VIG. It's a Chicago, they call it a sports parlor. It's a sports bar, but it's a fancy sports bar, so I guess you can't just call it a sports bar. But it has things like TVs that slide in and out of the walls and fancy cocktails and just a killer view. So they are going to be opening in September. That was news that we found out this week.
Okay, and speaking of views, Lakefront Brewery, you're finally going to get to go outside and view the lake.
Yeah. Well, as somebody who's been here for a couple of years now, but somebody still has not been able to explain to me how Lakefront Brewery is allowed to call itself Lakefront. But technically, we'll be able to go out and view the river, I think. But they're opening nearly an acre-sized lot adjacent to the brewery that basically it's a field, but there's going to be picnic tables and benches, and got a chance to take a look at it. And it's a fun amenity for that brewery.
And bring some binoculars. All right, and then finally, Tim, let's talk chicken.
People love their chicken. So new restaurant is looking to expand. It's called Bird Call, and they are looking to add to what is just a, frankly, really competitive chicken space. We have Raising Cane's and Dave's Hot Chicken and Wingstop, and Zaxby's is looking to come here for those familiar with that chain. So this new one is based in Denver. It's called Bird Call, and they are looking to flock to Milwaukee.
Do you know what their chicken sandwiches taste like?
I've never had Bird Call. It's always weird looking at this list of, I've eaten pretty much all of those. But they're from Denver, but they have just a range of sauces. Salted maple chicken and waffles sounds pretty good. They got a sandwich which has crispy chicken, bacon, onion jam, and white cheddar.
Sounds like you're going to be there on opening day. Tim Gibbons, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. Can't thank you enough for joining us today.
Good to talk to you.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala. Nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake? Or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Affordable glass and mirror home decor ideas will go as far as your style and imagination will take them. But not everyone has the time to think up new ways to make our products work for their home. So here are some ideas that could really take your home style to the next level. A great way to visually enlarge a small space is to add mirrors. We're seeing mirrored closet doors come back in style, but now they call them reflective storage units. And if they're done right, they can be quite appealing. Make your minimal bedroom more expansive looking with a wall of mirrors. Or how about a mirrored backsplash in your kitchen? Mirror front kitchen cabinets look really sleek. If you bring us the milled out cabinet doors, we'll install mirrors and your kitchen gets an instant style upgrade. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
It is 8:32, and we have Nazir Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Nazir, last Sunday morning, there was that story about the wedding shooting, and I know here in the newsroom, we were trying to figure out how did that happen?
Right.
And finally, here late Friday, they told us what was going on.
Yeah, I got some information for you here, Libby. A groomsman is on the run after shooting two people at a wedding during an argument about meatballs. Thomas Williams allegedly shot two people after the bride's cousin told him to stop eating meatballs with his hands and use a plate, causing him to punch her in the face. Her brother-in-law intervened before Williams shot them both, one in the neck and the other in the arm and shoulder. The bride chased Williams out to his car and took his key fob, causing Williams to flee on foot. 41-year-old Williams is charged with first-degree reckless injury, possession of firearm by a felon, and bail jumping. An electric bike rider was injured after colliding with a pickup truck Friday. West Allis police say the crash happened at the intersection of 76 and Beloit when the bike rider ran a traffic signal and collided with the truck. The man was taken to the hospital. Police say the driver remained on scene and cooperated with the investigation. Wisconsin fire departments are receiving a huge statewide funding boost. The Department of Safety and Professional Services is distributing $38.1 million through the state's 2% fire dues program. That's about $2 million more than last year. The money will help professional, volunteer, and hybrid fire departments purchase equipment, provide firefighter training, support fire prevention, and strengthen emergency response efforts statewide. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have a few disabled vehicles in the Racine and Kenosha County if you're heading south and north on I-41. Just be mindful of those on your morning commute. Otherwise, looking pretty clear across the rest of this system.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and a high of 75 near the lake and 85 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 69. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with hot and humid and jump to 95 degrees. Tuesday, mostly sunny, hot and humid with a high of 95 as well. Wednesday, mostly sunny, hot with a high of 94. And Thursday, mostly sunny, hot with a slight chance of afternoon storms with a high of 92 degrees. Right now in Madison, it is 65, in Green Bay 65, in Waukesha 64, and in Milwaukee 67 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:35.
Don't go away. Nazir, I got to go back to this wedding. So this was what was the name of the place? Aria?
Yeah, Aria. Yes.
Have you ever been there?
I've driven past it. I've never been inside.
I'm just wondering, how good are their meatballs?
It's got to be.
That's a spicy meatball.
I mean, that's got to be a really good meatball that, you're not going to wait in line in the buffet to get the plate and the fork. You're just going to reach right in and grab that meatball.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. It's kind of use your forks, use your utensils.
Well, in the other part of this story, the bride. Now, let me get this straight. So after he grabbed the meatball, and I don't know how many meatballs he ate with his hands, they asked him to do the plate. He punched who in the face?
Punched the bride in the face.
Punched the bride in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, but they didn't shoot the bride, did they?
Not that I know of.
Okay, it was two other people then that got involved in the melee.
Yeah.
But the bride who I'm assuming had a wedding gown on.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah, and that's usually
right.
Pretty fancy dress. She chased the guy who shot the other two people out of the venue.
Yeah,
and grabbed his keys.
Yeah, grabbed his key fob, causing Williams to flee on foot.
That is one
He's
heck
on the
of
move. Yeah.
One heck of a wedding.
Yeah.
That's a wedding to remember. I wonder if they got that all on video.
I hope.
You know, you have videographers at those weddings.
Yeah.
If he was on his toes, he would have gotten all the action.
That's true. That's true.
Nice.
Cameraman never loses.
It's great to have you back
Yeah,
on a Sunday morning. You're going to join us with Sandy Max in a little while, right?
Yeah. Well,
okay, because there's a great story, and
Yeah.
you know a little bit about this. So
Yeah.
we'll talk to you in a couple of minutes. It is 8:36 on WTMJ, and coming up in 2 minutes, it's a Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
On top of spaghetti, all covered with cheese. I lost my poor meatball when somebody sneezed.
So I was talking with another real estate agent who has been in the business even longer than I have, with a couple of other big name companies. He was talking about how it's tough to compete with us because we have good agents and we charge less commission. And he even said that he lost a few listings to us, and it always bothered him because he realized that he was doing everything that we were doing, but he was charging more. We do charge less, and we do everything that a full-service agency does, because we are full-service real estate agents. The only difference is we give you our very best commission rate up front. You do pay for what you get. And with Century 21 Benefit Realty for 1.9% on the listing side of your home, with a cap of $19,000 commission on any size home, you can get full-service experienced agents, MLS marketing, professional photos, even virtual walkthroughs, and everything you get from any other big-name agent, all under the umbrella of the Century 21 brand. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-939-2525. That's 800-939-2525. 800-939-2525.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Woody Collins. Giannis got traded this week. There was a contentious push for public utilities, and Missy Hughes dropped out. There was a lot more, too. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Fairly Civil played at Summerfest. How was it on the big stage, Isaac?
It was incredible.
You can now say you've played the world's largest music festival.
Well, unfortunately, a Father's Day shooting out of Delafield. The man shooting his father.
He shot his father 3 times in the abdomen with his gun. The gun is currently next to him on the ground.
I want to give you a chance to talk about Alan Greenspan, passed away at the age of 100, American economist, former chair of the Federal Reserve.
He was this libertarian of financial theory, and he thought that it would self-correct. Now, it did. It's not probably the way we wanted it back in the Y2K burst.
So you've probably noticed gas prices dropping, and rather dramatically over the last 5 weeks.
Is there a risk here that drivers are enjoying a temporary break before another jump?
Well, I mean, there's always that possibility. The coast is anything but clear.
We are so excited to be joined in the studio by Miss Wisconsin, Jordan Butler. My gosh, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
The Bucks traded Giannis Antetokounmpo and also the mayor, Bobby Portis, to the Miami Heat.
You know, it wasn't going to last forever anyway. We've been through a lot as fans, so I think we need another 24 hours to process all of this, at least.
It kind of feels like we finally ripped the Band-Aid off.
The Bucks received a heck of a lot of compensation for Giannis. They've got picks going into the 2030s.
Who knows who those players might be?
My wonder is Hero. So that's the name that really jumps out to me. He was a legend here in the state of Wisconsin. But do you believe he will ever suit up for the Milwaukee Bucks?
He dealt with a bunch of injuries, missed a lot of games. It'd probably shift more likely towards unlikely.
Eventually, that mural is going to come down, and it's going to come down sooner than later. So
They are going to keep this mural.
I heard that the artist has already agreed to transform that into a mural for Tyler Hero.
Now we're just purely speculating.
A few moments later.
With the 10th pick, the Milwaukee Bucks select Braden Burries from the University of Arizona.
Can't wait to get out there, get to work. I'm super excited to get out there to Milwaukee.
Because of great people like you that stood with justice. That's why I'm back.
Leader of the Islamic Society of Milwaukee after he was released from custody in ICE detention. So now that'll be interesting to see what happens starting today with this immigration case.
Congress actually got the votes for the War Powers Act, but it almost certainly will not stop the war.
Some Republicans are saying to the president, you can't just do whatever the hell you want, because this president just thinks you can do whatever you want.
President Trump was scheduled to sign a bipartisan housing bill today in front of members of Congress, but it never happened.
He decided not to come to the Capitol to sign the housing bill that was bipartisan. He says he's not going to do so until the Senate passes something called the Save America Act.
You have to ask Dr. Dave about the parallel parking story.
All of a sudden I hear, you got it! I turn around and there's this big guy doing the arm wave, and Giannis goes, you cheer me at the game, I'll cheer you when you're parking.
We are part of the record.
When I woke up this morning and turned on the radio, WTMJ was laughing about this very hearing.
I don't know if laughing is fair. I mean, you called it a terrible idea, but that's different than laughing.
It's laughable.
I don't think anybody likes paying more for their energy. You're not going to make it cheaper. And who says that the city or county is going to do a better job than We Energy is providing power to the citizens of Milwaukee?
A new festival that'll take over the grounds. I am looking forward to it because it combines things that I like: food, wine, music, and a lake.
Once you're in the grounds, it's choose your own adventure. We're not forcing you to do anything, eat anything.
What does it mean that Missy Hughes is out of the race for governor?
I think anytime you can get an endorsement from another candidate is good. I just don't know if it brings more people into her lane to help her.
Everybody is invited to the tailgate-themed party to celebrate the completion of the Bob Uecker mural.
What a week, eh?
What a week.
Ditto. Cosign. So, on that note,
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
And that's the Week in Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Text the word week to the Sodding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620, and you can hear it all again. It's 8:44 coming up next. Our consumer expert warned you about a data recovery scheme. You don't want to miss it. It's right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Every month, DATCAP releases a scam spotlight. And this month, it's recovery scams. Joining us to talk about it is Michelle Reinen, our consumer expert. Michelle, tell us exactly what you mean by a recovery scam.
Yeah, a recovery scam happens when scammers impersonate trusted resources like a government agency, a law firm, or a consumer support organization. And they're claiming that they can help an individual who's been victimized by a scam recover from that loss. This scammer claims that they can help that consumer get that stolen money or identity back, but it's for a price. And really, they're just being targeted for another scam all over again.
So what should you watch for?
Well, you need to be cautious. If you're asked to make payment, that's one thing. And the other thing is we've noticed that many of these are targeting individuals who've been victimized by cryptocurrency scams. So keep that in mind. To tell the story so people have a point of reference, the consumer who reached out to us had lost over $5,000 to a cryptocurrency scam, and then they were contacted by what they thought was a reputable company, claiming they could help get that consumer's money back. So the consumer transferred another $500 to this company through what they believed was a legitimate platform, but soon realized that that website was just a convincing copy of a real platform, and it was actually controlled by the scammer. And at the end of the day, that scammer refused to refund that additional $500.
So what should you do if you've been involved in something like this and you're offered help or recovery services after you've been scammed?
Yeah, so consumers who are offered this help, they should remember that scammers make money through urgency and emotional manipulation, and they rely on convincing consumers to act before they pause, to really think through all the situations. Ignore unsolicited offers. If a consumer wants help with recovery, seek it out directly from real agencies and organizations, and then be skeptical of any requests for upfront fees. Because after payment's delivered, there's no guarantee that that other party will follow through on their promises. And if the fraudulent payment is sent to the scammer through a cryptocurrency kiosk, or think of it as a crypto ATM, consumers are eligible to be refunded the amount lost if they submit a complaint to both the kiosk operator and law enforcement within 30 days. So act quickly and work on a process to control your own recovery.
So if by any chance you think you've been taken advantage of, how do we get in touch with you?
Call the Consumer Protection Hotline at 800-422-7128.
It's going to be partly cloudy today. We do have a slight chance of some showers late. A high of 85. We'll be at 75 near the lake, but get ready. Tomorrow, it's going to really get hot with heat indexes as high as 105 degrees over the next couple days. Right now, it's 67 at 8:49.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala. Nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
From sliding framed, semi-frameless, or frameless glass shower doors, to heavy all-glass custom enclosures that can be built to fit any opening, at Less's Glass, we cover all the bases. But our biggest strength isn't only our selection. It's in our installation experience. We've been around nearly 40 years, and you only last that long if your installers leave the job the way your customers expect it to be left. Other places can sell you a glass shower enclosure, and some of those big guys may even be able to do it for a little cheaper. But the question you need to ask yourself is, will the job be done right? So remember, paying for quality only hurts once, but it does feel good when you get what you expect. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
No matter what your summer sounds like, Summerfest is the place to be.
Congratulations!
And WTMJ is right in the middle of it. Come say hi as we broadcast live from the Summerfest grounds all festival long. From the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studio, we're bringing Milwaukee's biggest summer tradition straight to you. Your soundtrack to summer, heard here on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
And that is Post Malone, who played Summerfest last night. And it's time for Sandy Max with Sunday What's on Tap. And Sandy, a lot of people love the show. I mean, Post Malone has
first time at Summerfest. He was highly anticipated,
and he's transitioned. I mean, his genres.
He mashes everything.
It's
up.
really interesting. But what's really cool is he actually hung out in the city. We've got Nazir Spencer
great?
here,
Yeah.
and Nazir, tell us about this barbershop stop at. Is it Top Tier?
Yeah, it's Top Tier barber, and yeah, he's cut a whole bunch of Bucks, Brewers, Bulls hair. I'm pretty sure he cut one of the Suns players' hair a few years ago. I don't know exactly when, but yeah, it's pretty popular. Social media status is pretty cool. I've been keeping tabs on him for a little bit. It's pretty cool to see that he's finally coming to light, that Post Malone coming to town.
And barbershop culture is very strong, very social.
Absolutely.
And to have, because I immediately think of Mr. G's, like very well known, but to know that Top Tier, okay, it's a scene.
Yeah.
And for somebody like Post Malone to come to our city and not just go to the hotel, get on the tour bus, hang out backstage at Summerfest and not enjoy our city, to actually go where conversation happens and you're really part of it, I just think it's great.
I agree.
And walking in and asking for a beer.
Yeah, right.
He's one of us. Fits right in Wisconsin.
It was great. I mean, what a moment for the owner of that Top Tier hair studio. All right, so Sandy, we had Post Malone last night, but he wasn't the only big act at Summerfest.
Well, the weekend too was stacked because you had Ed Sheeran on on Thursday night, where even Milwaukee Brewers players went. And I was like, don't stay out too late, guys. But it was kind of date night. Truly, Brandon Woodruff, Bryce Terang, and Sal Frelick went with their gals to enjoy Ed Sheeran. And Ike Winter, the woodworking artist who did the mosaics for the NFL draft, he bumped into them at Summerfest. He's like, hey, I know the guys are going to Ed Sheeran.
Well, I also saw that Ed Sheeran did a meet and greet with a cancer patient.
Isn't that
before
lovely?
The show,
great,
which was really neat.
So again, we've got these world-class artists coming to our city during Summerfest, and they're not just stopping in. Like, they really are being part of Milwaukee. So that warms my heart. Then you had Cody Johnson doing country music on the amphitheater on Friday night, Post Malone last night. But I mean, there's just so many bands. And yesterday, the one person I wanted to see was a guy named Hank Azaria. And if you're not familiar with his name immediately, you'd be familiar with like the hundreds of voices that he does on The Simpsons. Apu, comic book guy,
Really?
Duffman. Yeah. So exactly.
Cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he does all these voices on The Simpsons so well, he decided he's going to have a Bruce Springsteen tribute band called Hank Azaria and the Easy Street Band. So Vince Vitrano, Eric Bilstead got to interview Hank Azaria on their morning show. And I'm like, this sounds like so much fun. Plus, it's Hank Azaria. Okay, let's see a star. So I wound up going to the U-Line stage yesterday, worked my way into the front row, and it was so fun. He's got 8 musicians behind him. He sounds like
worked your
Bruce
way
Springsteen.
into the front row. I think there's a story
I gotta get
right there.
I didn't hurt anyone. I didn't elbow anyone. I just wiggled right up and found a spot. But it was so fun to hear him. And I would say that the big takeaway from almost every performer I have seen, and I've seen a lot of daytime shows, happiness. Like the bands are happy to be on stage. I saw another guy named Alex Sampson on Friday afternoon, who's a Canadian singer-songwriter from Canada's Got Talent. Just happy to be here. He's like, this is my first American festival. I'm like, well, you checked the biggest one off the box, the world's largest music festival. But it's just so happy. So Hank Azaria could be this kind of like, I've been there, done that.
Oh, sure.
A-list star. He was so much fun and told anecdotes in between every song about why he was doing it. He's also like, I'm stalling for time because I'm out of breath. But he's buff. He's 62 and just like looks like he could just do push-ups right now. So he was telling these anecdotes in between. He does sound like Bruce Springsteen. And then people in the crowd were cool. It was full at U-Line, no surprise there. But there was a guy over my shoulder who shouted out one of the show names.
Brockmeyer! Jim Brock, a lot of Brockmeyer fans here in Milwaukee. Yeah, because this is Bob Uecker country, that's why. Bob Uecker was a definite inspiration for Jim Brockmeyer. I can't decide who was more disturbed, Bob Uecker or Jim Brockmeyer. Now, when I was growing up, I never thought I'd actually make a living doing all of this nonsense when I was growing up. But what can I say,
So it was really fun for him to even acknowledge. So Brockmeyer, he plays a sportscaster. So you could look it up, 5 seasons, catch up, you can binge watch that. But that's how playful he was. Like he wasn't aloof, he wasn't snotty, he was really into it. So you just heard him talk about Uke there at the very end of the show. And the crowd's going wild. Like, we really enjoyed this fun show. A stacked set, like Dancing in the Dark, like all the songs you can think of. Atlantic City, it was very fun.
Did he have you come up on stage and dance?
You know what? The woman next to me, remember how close I was? He said, I usually bring somebody up on stage, but you can't get up through security. But the gal next to me in this bucket hat, she was way into the show. And he's like, okay, how about you and me dance together? She was standing next to me. I was like, I'm going to give her room because this is her time to shine. So he's like, okay, we're dancing. And he really did. He danced with her up on stage and she was over the moon. Absolutely over the moon. This really meant a lot to her. So eye contact and dancing. So yes, there was dancing. But at the very end, he says, I'm a Mets fan, but I'm going to say this. And he just leans in the mic and says, go Brewers. The crowd goes wild. He walks away. We're still cheering. And then he turns around and walks back and he said, and I'll tell you what, you can have David Stearns and Freddie Peralta back. And then he walked away and the crowd went wild. So he really, again, another star who came here and just embraced the whole Milwaukee, Wisconsin experience. Big fan.
I am so glad you were there at that show. It sounds like it was a great time.
And next weekend is stacked for 4th of July weekend. They've got free admission specials. There's going to be a whole celebration on July 4th. There will be fireworks on July 4th, thanks to Harley Davidson. They're doing their big $1 million giveaway. So there's a lot to look forward to this weekend as well. On the amphitheater, Muse, who are going to bring their huge theatrical rock, Alex Warren with his pop, and then Jelly Roll closes the whole thing out on July 4th.
And I love Jelly Roll. I wonder if he'll say something about his wife. Okay, Sandy Max, what's on tap all week? What are you doing?
Well, we're going to get you psyched for Summerfest. I'll be broadcasting again on Thursday, so we will prepare you fully. But also, a lot of the other America's 250th, there are a lot of parades and celebrations around southeastern Wisconsin, so we keep up to date where you can flash your red, white, and blue.
Can't wait to hear it. Sandy Max, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks.
And right after the news with Nigel Spencer, we're going to be joined by Mark Cass. He's got some thoughts about how it's affecting Giannis from a personal standpoint of moving out of Milwaukee. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Some rivalries need no introduction.
And a high fly ball deep right field. This ball's way back there. That one's off the scoreboard and over it and out of this ballpark.
The Brewers and Cubs face off today at American Family Field.
And the Brewers all over the Cubs.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35. This series is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategy. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it's 68 degrees here in Milwaukee. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and a high of 75 near the lake, 85 inland tonight, a low of 69. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nazir Spencer. Get ready for a stretch of dangerous heat across southeast Wisconsin this week. Forecasters say temperatures will climb into the 90s this week, but the bigger concern will be the humidity, pushing the heat index above 100 degrees. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brandon Johnson tells WTMJ.
It's going to be a pretty rough 5 days or so. The last time we had a string of 5 or more days of 90-plus degree temperatures in Milwaukee was the end of July back in 2021. Tomorrow and Tuesday really look to be the hottest days. Our heat index values could top 100 to 105.
Johnson says the hottest days look to be tomorrow and Tuesday. Severe flooding hit Kentucky, killing 4 people. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has declared a state of emergency after some towns saw almost 6 inches of rainfall.
We've seen 6 to 7 inches of rain in some parts of our Commonwealth, which has created dangerous conditions, flash floods, and I need you to be careful. There are at least 12 state roads that are out of commission.
3 people died in Madison County. The medical examiner's office says 2 of them were found dead inside their home. Search and rescue teams are still searching for victims. A famous Milwaukee beer ends its legacy with a cheers in Verona.
The Wisconsin Brewing Company sold a limited quantity of Schlitz beer yesterday to celebrate the last batch. After 177 years on the market, the final Schlitz brewing was in late May. It was a best-selling beer in America during the 1950s, selling over 5 million barrels every year. Jen Gregg, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:04.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation, and it definitely shouldn't feel like a game. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin believes in straightforward pricing, honest conversations, and helping homeowners find the right fit for their home. Because a fair final price matters more than some flashy discount. Pella never inflates pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. And when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, one trusted team handles everything from start to finish. The same company that manufactures your windows and doors is also the one selling, installing, and servicing them with Pella certified installers every step of the way. That means confidence in the process, confidence in the product, and one team standing behind the work from beginning to end. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
What's with the ladder?
And the bowling ball.
I'm testing the unsmushable Qualix Ultra Foam in Penny Mustard's Motion Sectional.
By dropping a bowling ball on it?
Among other things.
Like what?
Let's see. Kettlebell, cinder block, giant bag of sand, tractor tire, a full set of encyclopedias.
You don't have to do this.
The Qualix Ultra Foam seats in our Motion Sectionals have already been proven to stay supportive and comfortable for the life of the sofa.
Plus, it's a motorized recliner that allows you to adjust to the exact centimeter of comfort.
If If you'll excuse me, these heavy items aren't going to drop themselves.
Wait, are you also dropping a dog on the sectional?
No, that's a St. Bernard to rescue me when I get trapped under all this stuff.
The forever comfortable Motion Sectional, starting at just $350 a month with no interest till December of 2027 through July 5th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Unsmushable versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Milwaukee Brewers fell to the Chicago Cubs for the first time this year, 8-2, at American Family Field on Saturday. The Crew will look to take the series today in the final game of the series.
2-1. And he's swinging away, hits a ground ball to first base, and he'll just jog up the line, and that's going to do it. 3-1 on the putout, an 8-2 Cubs victory to even the series at a game apiece.
The game begins this afternoon at 1:10 with our coverage beginning at noon with Brewers warm-up and Dominic Cotroneo. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time-saver traffic. Just a few disabled vehicles along I-41 heading into the Racine and Kenosha County, and one in Milwaukee County near Drexel Avenue, a ramp from Drexel Avenue. So just be mindful of those disabled vehicles on your morning commute. Here's your WTMJ forecast. Today, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and a storm late possible with a high of 75 near the lake, 85 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 69 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 68 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:07.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
A lot of hearts were broken this week when it was announced that Giannis was going to leave Milwaukee for, of all places, Miami. And one of the first people I thought of to get a reaction is Mark Cass from Team Lammy. And I know, Mark, you are so immersed into the world of sports on a lot of different levels. And what I want to do is get your thoughts about how this is really going to affect Giannis personally. Because when he first came here to Milwaukee, it was open arms. We embraced him. My goodness, they put a huge mural downtown. The only other person with that honor is Bob Uecker. And the city just fell in love with him. And the fact that, he seemed like such a nice person. But now you compare the welcoming in Miami, it's like, okay, we got a superstar here and he better produce. It's not the same thing. How is that going to affect Giannis, do you think?
It'll be interesting to watch because, remember when he came here, he was very naive, he was very young. He learned life in America and learned life in Milwaukee. I mean, he learned how to drive. Remember that when he learned about smoothies? He learned about Oreos.
He learned English.
Yes, he learned English. So he really learned his life in Milwaukee. I think Miami's going to be much different. I mean, he often talks about how he loves Milwaukee. It's a small town. He can go places. He's obviously recognized, but for the most part, he's left alone. I think in Miami, it's going to be a whole nother game. I mean, he's a superstar. Everywhere he goes in Miami, it's going to be a huge deal. I think for him and his family, it's going to be quite a change from Milwaukee. So that'll be interesting to see how he kind of changes it. And I also think fans, he's going there with, very high expectations with him in terms of winning another NBA championship, obviously for the Heat. And that, so obviously he wants to, but there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. There's a lot of spotlight that comes with that. Look at some of the high-profile players who have transferred team or who have switched teams over the years, from LeBron James to Kevin Durant to others. It's always not worked out well. I mean, I hope it does for him because I think we all need to look at what he did in Milwaukee. I mean, just is so cool and so amazing, and I'm happy he did it. I'm sad he's gone, but I think it's going to be quite a change in Miami for him.
The other thing is fans. If you're in Wisconsin, you're family. If Wisconsin embraces you, that's it. It's like you are one of us. You go to a place like Miami, which is an international city.
It is.
It's got a lot of people who come from New York, New Jersey, that whole East Coast thing, and they are very demanding of their sports stars and teams. And they will drop you in a dime if you don't produce.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Again, he's had it really well here. Now, he's earned it in Milwaukee. I mean, he was the star, and he produced at a very high level. He was loved here. I think he's going in there, kind of, as I said, with very high expectations. And if he doesn't produce at that level, I mean, it could really change. The media has always been extremely nice to Giannis.
Yeah, nice. They've fallen over backwards.
Yes, exactly. I mean, kind of like the team we found out, pretty much has. Anything he's wanted, he's gotten, from his brothers to, whatever, to all that kind of stuff he's gotten. In Miami, I think it's a little different. It's a much different organization. It's a different city, higher expectations right now because of the trade and what they had to provide for him. So this is going to be real interesting to watch in terms of how he does and how he reacts. I mean, he's a superstar. There's no doubt about it. But this is the first time in his career where he's going to be in this kind of thing where all eyes are going to be on him to really produce at a very high level.
We're talking with Mark Cass from Team Lammy. Okay, let's switch over to the organization itself, the Bucks. Yep. There's a lot of talk. If you listen to sports radio or you read any of the reviews, they say they dropped the ball, literally, with this.
Hindsight is 20/20, as they say, but it's clear that they tried to do everything they could to make sure he stayed and to make sure he was happy, whether it was the moves they made with trading Drew Holiday, with Lillard. They made a lot of moves to try and make him happy, but also try to stay competitive. It didn't work. They hoped the thing with Lillard would work. It didn't. These things happen. It's rare that you see a team go for as long as the Bucks went winning. Obviously, they only won at the highest level once, but they had quite a run here. It was at 8 or 9 years straight in the playoffs. So there is some things to learn here. Maybe they should have, kind of ran the team without him calling all the shots. I think maybe there's things here. But again, when you have a superstar like him, probably the greatest player ever played for the Bucks other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you want to make him happy. And I think maybe that overtook some of the longer-term goals of the team.
I'm going to ask you a controversial question here. Should they paint over that mural?
No, I really don't believe they should. Think of what we had over the years he was here. We have an NBA championship. We had one in 21. It was, 50 years since that happened. He'll always be remembered as a superstar. Think about Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I mean, Brett Favre left Green Bay, right? He came back and he was put into the Hall of Fame up in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, one day, after he finally retires, which God knows when that'll be, he'll be put into the Packers Hall of Fame. I mean, you can't forget what he did for this city, what he accomplished in Milwaukee. I mean, I strongly believe, as you know, I'm involved with the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. One day, we want to put Giannis in our Hall of Fame. I mean, he's meant that much to the city. Because without him, it's unlikely the Bucks win a championship.
That kind of hits hard when you say that, Mark.
Yeah, it is. It's true. I mean, without him and without him playing with them, we also wouldn't see the success around the arena. Think about what happened inside the arena. Think about the attendance at the arena. Think about the success of the bars and everything around the arena. I mean, that doesn't happen if they don't hit at such a high level and obviously win the championship. His value was much more than on the court in terms of helping the team and our city.
Mark Cass, it is always great to have you here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
I miss you
I miss
too. My Sunday conversations with Libby and all year. I go everywhere, and actually I got asked a couple months ago, how come you're not talking to Libby anymore? Somebody who always listened to us every week. So it made me feel really good because I always enjoyed our conversations.
Oh, and I love talking with you too. And you are playing pickleball again this week at Summerfest.
I am. With 3 straight weeks, we'll have another tournament on Thursday. Vince played an event this week, did a great job. A lot of media people down there, a lot of brewers were down there this past week. Just a lot of fun. Come down and play on the lakefront. Libby, I want to see you down there someday playing with us.
I just might do that. Mark Cass.
You'd be awesome.
From Team Lammy. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, Libby. You're always great to talk to you.
I don't know if you're aware, but in Miami, they also have a mural that features various Miami Heat players. The difference between that mural and this one, they might paint you up on the mural, but they take you off just as quickly as they put you up. Just remember that, Giannis. All right, 9:14. We've got a forecast for you because it is going to be a hot week. That's coming up next. And then after that, we're going to be joined by Rosie Rios, who is the chair of America 250. It's all coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Dave Spano, CEO of Annex Wealth Management, a fee-only fiduciary.
Fee-only fiduciary really further separates the folks that either say fiduciary some of the time or best interests altogether. And it's not just that alone. It is, of course, everything else that we can bring to the table that just isn't asset management. It is estate planning, tax planning, financial planning, all of it wrapped together in one transparent fee.
Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Is your life stuck in constant stress mode? Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension. Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, my team that can help, not just mask symptoms, but find the root cause. Connect Chiro specializes in neurologically focused chiropractic care, helping your nervous system function the way it's designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. Helping our community live healthier, more energized lives. Go ConnectChiro.com.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Oh, yeah. Get ready because we have an extreme heat watch in effect. Now, today's going to be pretty nice. It's going to be on the cloudy side. We'll probably get some showers or storms late overnight, but our high today is going to be 85, 75 near the lake. Then tonight, partly cloudy, 69. But tomorrow, hold on to your hats because it's going to be mostly sunny, hot, and humid. Our high temperature is going to be 95 degrees with a heat index of 102. Then on Tuesday, sunny, hot, humid, high of 95, heat index 105. Wednesday, mostly sunny, hot and humid, high 94, heat index, again, 105 degrees. Then Thursday, mostly sunny, hot, humid. We've got a slight chance of some storms with a high of 92, but that heat index is still going to be around 100 degrees. So if you have somebody in your life who doesn't have air conditioning, you might want to get prepared and hopefully get them somehow into a place where they can get away from the heat, because it's going to be just a week where it's going to be constant. And as TMJ4 meteorologist told us earlier, we haven't had heat like this since 2021. So get ready. It is coming. All right, it's temperatures right now. If you're waking up around Wisconsin, we're looking at temperatures, let's see, in Lake Geneva it's 73, Port Washington has 65, Tosa's at 71, and we have 67 degrees at WTMJ at 918.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody. The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful, everyone. I don't see staff, I see friends. Aww. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Some rivalries need no introduction.
And a high fly ball deep right field. This ball's way back there. That one's off the scoreboard and over it and out of this ballpark.
The Brewers and Cubs face off today at American Family Field.
And the Brewers all over the Cubs. It is 8-0 Milwaukee.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 12:35. This series is sponsored by Diversified Wealth Strategy. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
You know, on July 4th, we're all going to be firing up that grill. We're going to head into some parades. We're going to watch some fireworks. But there's something you need to remember, and that's that there are a lot of people and organizations that need your help. And this year, there's a national initiative going on. It's America 250's Giving Forth. And joining us is Rosie Rios. Rosie, of course, served as CEO of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing at the U.S. Mint. And Rosie, it is great to have you back again this morning.
Thank you so much. Always great to be back.
For people who aren't familiar, let's tell them again what exactly the July 4th initiative is.
Yeah, so America 250 is a national bipartisan organization charged by Congress to plan the nation's 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. But we think it could be something more than just a celebration. And of course, we have the pomp and circumstance, we have the benefit shows, we have the music, we have the fireworks. But we also think this is an opportunity to use this moment of time and create a movement that we hope will last long after 2026. What better way to think about this moment than giving forth? And giving forth aims to move the needle of giving from what usually happens at the end of the calendar year, and most people think about their taxes, and move that to the summer season when nonprofits need it the most.
What impact does giving have on some of these not-for-profits?
Well, can you imagine? And we were already a generous nation, right? We are a nation of givers. And we are coming together for the semi-quincentennial. But can you imagine all of us coming together to give at the same time? What that could do for a lot of these nonprofits who know how to give back already, right? So they clothe those who need it, they house the unhoused, they feed the hungry. And so as we celebrate together with our own community potlucks, our barbecues, what better way to embrace the spirit of generosity than by giving back through giving forth?
All right, well, how can people and other organizations get involved in this giving?
So on America250.org, our website, we have a couple of resources there. So first of all, we already have a number of community organizations that we've been working with on a lot of initiatives. But we also have a link to Charity Navigator. That's an organization that monitors 501c3s that are in good standing with the IRS. So it's kind of fun to go onto that website and really look at all these great nonprofits who are doing some fabulous work already and think about what we value and whom we value. And then you could take the pledge. Like, come take this journey with us. It literally kicks off this year, but we want to make next July 4th, 2027, the largest day of giving in our country's history. And so we are doing the sea to shining sea, one part of the country to the other, and really trying to make this the legacy of the 250th as the best gift we can think of to our country.
We're talking with Rosie Rios. She is the chair of America 250. Rosie, you mentioned the concerts and some of the other activities. Do you think the controversy that's been created by, the cancellation of concerts, a UFC fight at the White House, things like that, that's going to take away from the celebration of America 250?
Well, look, our goal is to engage all 350 million Americans as part of this effort. It's what I call 350 for 250. That is our mandate from Congress, and we have to do it in a bipartisan way. So as far as we're concerned, look, we've been planning these celebrations for a long time. Our playbook was unanimously approved by all commissioners in 2024. This is our fourth administration under this legislation. So as far as we're concerned, we've been focused on delivering values-based programming from day one. What better way to think about the legacy of this historical milestone of our country and use the moment to create this new movement of giving back.
Have you been getting support from this legislation?
So by law, we are working with all three branches of government. The executive branch, of course, Congress, we are a congressional commission, and even the Supreme Court. Look, I've been serving my country now for 18 years. I started on the Treasury Federal Reserve Transition Team at the height of the financial crisis in 2008, and none of this is easy, but it is absolutely worthwhile. I mean, there's no playbook you could take off the shelf that says, here's how you throw the country's biggest celebration you've ever seen. But because our commission has been so focused on this values-based approach, no politics, just purpose, and it's resonating exactly the way we want it to.
Rosie, I got to ask you, because you were in the Treasury Department, this $250 bill with President Trump's picture on it. I mean, that's unprecedented. I don't think we've ever had a bill in that denomination. And I don't think a living president's picture has ever been on money.
Well, so the denominations go all the way up to a $10,000 bill. And again, that's always been by law. And where the controversy started was with former Secretary Salmon Chase, who put his image while he was Secretary of the Treasury on the $10,000 bill. But look, that's a decision that has to be made by this administration, maybe by this Congress. But from our perspective, we've been focused on this programming now for quite some time. My 8th year on this commission, my 4th year as chair. We know our programming is resonating, and we can't think of a better way to embrace this moment by creating this movement that'll empower those who need it the most.
I don't know if you remember the celebrations in 1976
for
the 200,
do.
Which was huge. I mean, people were excited. There were tall ships coming into New York Harbor. It seemed like the country really was excited about their 200th birthday. Do you think that we have that same level? Because a lot of people I know are saying, it just doesn't feel the same as it did with that celebration 50 years ago.
Well, here's what I remember about the bicentennial. So I was almost 11 years old. My parents came from Mexico to the United States in 1958 for a better life. And 11 years and 9 kids later, my mom ended up raising us as a single parent and somehow sent all 9 of us off to college. So I remember very clearly, it was a cloudy night in Hayward, California on July 4th, 1976, but those fireworks were never brighter. I remember feeling, look, we were coming out of the Vietnam War. We were coming out of Watergate. The distrust of government was at a high point. Our economy was not that great, but boy, were we ready to celebrate. And so I think there's a lot of people that are looking to this celebration to find that unifying moment. And I think Giving Forth provides that purpose that our country really needs at this time of our history that we hope, again, will live long past 2026, long after the fireworks.
And Rosie, if people are joining us late, let's tell them again what they need to do if they want to take part in America 250's Giving Forth initiative.
You can go to our website at america250.org. You could look at our link to Charity Navigator to look at all the nonprofits that might resonate with you. You can take our pledge online to kind of take this journey with us, starting on July 4th, 2026, and you can continue this pledge and this movement with us all the way through next July 4th, 2027, and hopefully longer.
Happy 4th of July, Rosie.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me. It was fun.
Rosie Rios from America 250. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, and shout out to my daughter, Brooke.
It's 9:28 and 67 degrees at WTMJ.
From sliding framed, semi-frameless, or frameless glass shower doors to heavy all-glass custom enclosures that can be built to fit any opening, at Less's Glass, we cover all the bases. But our biggest strength isn't only our selection. It's in our installation experience. We've been around nearly 40 years, and you only last that long if your installers leave the job the way your customers expect it to be left. Other places can sell you a glass shower enclosure, and some of those big guys may even be able to do it for a little cheaper. But the question you need to ask yourself is, will the job be done right? So remember, paying for quality only hurts once, but it does feel good when you get what you expect. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
MW Marine
Celebrate summer with the 4th of July boat sale at MW Marine. Check out the new 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats powered by Mercury Outboards. All priced to move during this special holiday event. Ask about remaining closeout models with deep discounted pricing at MW Marine. They'll help keep your boat ready for the water with expert service and convenient outdoor storage. Make this your best summer yet at MW Marine, where 4th of July savings are making waves.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, and they offer early memory loss classes to help you. They specialize in this area. It's kindness at the core, locations throughout southeast Wisconsin. It's compassion, it's empathy. It's Wisconsin-based and family-owned, always welcoming people to come tour and welcome their new residents. I've seen their places. They're top-notch. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
It's 9:30, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we have Nazir Spencer. And Nazir, we had naked bike riders yesterday, right?
Yep.
But there was also an accident with somebody. Was it a bike or a scooter? But this wasn't one of the naked guys.
No, this
right?
is not. This is an electric bike, too.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, tell us what happened.
Yeah, so an electric bike rider was injured after colliding with a pickup truck Friday. West Dallas police say the crash happened at the intersection of 76 and Beloit when the bike rider ran a traffic signal and collided with the truck. The man was taken to the hospital. Police say the driver remained on scene and cooperated with the investigation. Washington County can move forward with selling off a former UWM property. The UWM campus at Washington County closed in 2024 due to declining enrollment and was going to be sold to the Ozaki Christian School for $3 million. But the Washington County Charitable Foundation this past March sued to block the sale, saying the campus should be used for public education. A judge Friday ruled that the sale can go forward. Washington County has filed to get the case dismissed. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. Looks like there's still a few disabled vehicles in the Racine and Kenosha area on I-41. Doesn't seem to be causing any traffic, so just be mindful of those when you're heading that way this morning. And we do have another disabled vehicle, I-43 south at Silver Spring Drive. The right shoulder is blocked due to that disabled vehicle. Just be mindful there is a little bit of construction in that area, so don't want anyone to get in any accidents this morning. Otherwise, it's looking pretty clear across the rest of the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Extreme heat watch coming up here at noon, tomorrow at noon for Monday, and then it goes into Tuesday until 8 a.m. Anyways, though, today, partly cloudy, slight chance of showers and storms later on with a high of 75 near the lake and 85 inland. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 69. Monday, mostly sunny, hot and humid with a high of 95 degrees. Heat index up to 102. Tuesday, mostly sunny, same thing, hot and humid, high of 95. Wednesday, mostly sunny and hot with a high of 94. Thursday, mostly sunny, hot and humid, slight chance of showers, though, with a high of 92 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 69 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:33.
It is going to be a dangerous heat wave. I mean, I said that earlier, that people, that people who don't have air conditioning, I mean, hopefully the cooling centers will be open, or if you know someone in that situation, try to help them out, because it's going to be really, really
it's
hot.
Gonna be bad.
Remember a couple weeks ago, we were talking about the bear?
The beer?
The bear.
The bear,
The beer.
Yeah.
Well, Schlitz, I think, had their last beer that they made yesterday. No, not the beer, the bear.
Okay, yeah.
The bear kind of started
came down here,
out around, in Washington County and sort of crossed, and we haven't heard about it since.
Yeah.
But it was unusual. We had bears down here.
Okay.
And of course, have you ever seen a coyote in the city?
No, not in the city, no.
Oh, yeah. They're here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. They're here. They're everywhere.
That's scary, yeah.
Yeah, and raccoons.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah, in the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are everywhere.
Okay. Well, there's more and more wild animals that are making cities their home, and we're going to tell you about it. And the city that has literally hundreds of thousands of raccoons that are living there. That's all I had on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the July Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Yours brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Ooh, they're out there. Welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins, and yes, there are some wild things out there. We've all heard it. Those coyotes in the middle of the night. And even in some areas around southeastern Wisconsin, there have been bear sightings in the last several weeks. Well, this apparently is not as unusual as it used to be. Joining us is Dan Werb. He's written a book. It's called Our Wild Familiars, How Animals Are Adapting to Cities and Reshaping the Natural World. And I'm sure, Dan, you have heard this from a lot of people in urban areas, that they're seeing animals that they thought were only in the woods.
That's absolutely true. You know, I spent a few years doing field research for this book, going to cities across the U.S. and North America and all around the world, and every single person I talked to had an animal story and had this sense that there were more animals than before. And science is really bearing that out. Biologists are describing the time we're living in right now as a great urban shift, where there are literally thousands of new wild animal species that are moving into urban areas across North America in response to climate change and habitat change and things like that. And so it's bringing to our doorstep all kinds of strange new neighbors.
When did this phenomena begin?
It's been happening really for the past few decades, like I would say like the past 20 to 30 years. In the case of some specific animals like coyotes have actually been expanding their home range at a pace of about 15 miles per decade for the past 300 years. So they are ahead of this trend for sure. But what's really interesting, what's happening right now, is that it used to be that the animals in cities were some of the most plentiful in the world, like we're thinking pigeons and rats and mice and things like that. But increasingly what we're seeing are rarer animals, endangered animals that are shifting in response to climate change, droughts, wildfires, things like that, to the relative safety of urban areas. And so rather than being places where you just have these kind of regular animals that we're so used to seeing, cities are becoming places where there are truly wild and rare animals that are finding niches.
This is really interesting, where you said they're moving to urban areas because they feel safe there. I don't get the connection.
So part of it is that as climate changes and you have these extreme weather events, wildfires will tear through forests, right? Or you have droughts that are many months long. But generally, what happens in cities and towns is that the effects of those extreme weather events are much lower, right? Like we have fire departments that respond to wildfires so they don't encroach on urban areas. And droughts, while they do affect cities, you know, there's always regular access to continuous water sources somewhere in a city. And so it is kind of counterintuitive, right? Like, why would animals be moving into places where humans, which are such predators, exist? But, little by little, they start to understand that we're not as much of a threat to them as we might appear, and they become bolder and bolder. And at the same time, they come to cities, they find regular sources of food through food waste, garbage, things like that, along with continuous sources of water. And there's this feedback loop where if you get smaller prey animals moving into cities, that actually pulls larger animals in as well. And so the more animals that rush into cities, that actually accelerates the pull of other animals as well.
We're talking with Dan Werb. His book is called Our Wild Familiars, How Animals Are Adapting to Cities and Reshaping the Natural World. Is the behavior of these animals when they move into an urban area, does their behavior begin to change?
In a lot of cases it does. And, that is the really cool thing about this book, is that I was able to, as I said, travel, across the country, across the world, tracking the ways that animals are evolving. And I really do mean evolving. In New York City, for example, rats have actually evolved over the past 50 years to become totally immune to rodenticides, so these poisons that humans have tried to use to kill rats. They've mutated at the genetic level to be able to tolerate it. In other places, you've got bats, which we very rarely see, but are extremely prevalent in urban cities and towns across the world. And they do a lot of really interesting things with echolocation. They can move through the night by basically singing. So they echolocate, they create these sonic frequencies, and then they can navigate through the air by listening to their own sound bouncing back to them. If they move into cities, they actually shift the frequencies of those echolocation calls either lower or higher to avoid noise pollution in cities and to adapt to the larger spaces that cities afford. So if you lower your echolocation, that means your calls can go further out into the night. And when you're in cities that have a lot of large spaces, that allows you to hunt insects at greater distances. So, I mean, the number and complexities of these adaptations are really mind-boggling, and it was such a joy to learn about some of them and to write this book.
You mentioned the evolution of many of these animals, and of course we know that domestic cats and dogs evolved from wild animals to eventually becoming our pets, and we welcome them into our home. Do you suspect that sometime in the next, I don't want to say the next decade, but let's say the next century or so, that some of these animals that are coming from nature are going to evolve to the point where they can be domesticated in urban areas?
It's a good question, and it's one that I've actually heard a lot, specifically around raccoons. So raccoons in a lot of cities, I spend a lot of time in Toronto, and there are as many as potentially 640,000 raccoons in the city.
In Toronto? There's that many raccoons?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so there's a whole city, there's a raccoon city in the actual city of humans in Toronto. And a lot of people ask me, are they slowly becoming domesticated? I think it's quite a leap to be comfortable with animals in your backyard, and then letting them into your home is a whole other thing. What I think is clear, though, is that urban areas are really becoming these complex ecosystems. And as they become complex ecosystems, animals get more and more comfortable in the niches, in the sort of they find their little part of the ecosystem that they can thrive in. And the beautiful thing about that is that we're part of those ecosystems too. So just as much as animals are adapting to us, I think we're seeing humans adapt to the presence of animals as well. And whether that ends with domestication, I mean, that is way above my pay grade, but I think in the short term, what's really cool about that is that we're likely to be having all of these interesting connections and moments with animals that we probably haven't in the past, and we're going to experience that more frequently. And what I love about that is just it creates a more complex and beautiful place to live.
Dan, it is a fascinating study that you've been involved in, and the book is really interesting. It's called Our Wild Familiars, How Animals Are Adapting to Cities and Reshaping the Natural World. Thanks so much for sharing this information. It's really eye-opening.
Oh, thanks so much, Libby.
I never knew there were that many raccoons in Toronto. It's 9:43. He was talking about bats as well, and I don't know if you know about this. This week, a little girl, I think she was 5 or 6, was bitten by a rabid bat in Shawano County. Apparently she was out playing with her brothers, and the bat somehow wrapped its wings around her leg, and she couldn't shake it off. And I guess finally the brothers got the bat and killed it, and they were able to send it in to be tested. That bat had rabies. So that little girl is now getting those treatments. And from what I understand, those can be very, very painful. But yeah, Shawano County, rabid bat. 9:44 on WTMJ.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala. Nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
At Associated Bank, we thought about speaking like other banks with hoity-toity names like Total Privilege Pay or something. But we don't speak bankish, we speak your language. When we say 2-day early pay, we mean you get paid 2 days early. $50 overdraft grace zone? That's a grace zone of up to $50 if overdrafts happen. And maintenance fee free account? Well, that speaks for itself. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
You know, foraging for mushrooms is common for a lot of people, but a single mistake can result in a trip to the emergency room or even the morgue. Poison toxicologist Dr. Ryan Feldman explained how often they receive calls from people who have mistaken good mushrooms for bad. How often do you get reports of mushroom poisoning here in the state?
So from May through October, we get about one call every other day at the Poison Center from somebody who foraged a mushroom and ate it and now is either having symptoms or is worried that they ate a poisonous one. The most common thing with all of them is nausea and vomiting. And then it can range all the way to liver failure, to ones that contain a toxin that looks very much like nerve gas. So what happens is your lungs fill up with fluid and your heart can actually stop. And we've unfortunately had deaths from those as well. It's not like we're having this happen all the time, but we have had deaths from foraging in Wisconsin.
Can one little bite make you that sick?
Well, it depends on the mushroom.
One wrong guess about the safety of a mushroom can result in you becoming sick or even worse. And poison toxicologist Dr. Ryan Feldman has seen it all. He shares his experiences, and he also describes a deadly morel mushroom outbreak that occurred from dining at a restaurant. It's all this morning at 11 on WTMJ Conversations, 947.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Deb Cruz, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. Adam member new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
It's going to be partly cloudy today. There's a chance of a storm overnight, a high of 85. If you're near the lake, it's going to be a little cooler, 75. But get ready, because tomorrow that heat wave begins. Sunny, hot, and humid, 95 for a high with a heat index of 102. And that's not all. It's going to last all week, with Monday and Tuesday being the hottest days. So be prepared. We are in for some very extreme heat this week. Currently in Oconomowoc, it is 75. Cedarburg has 70, 74 in Brookfield, and it's 67 degrees at WTMJ at 9:49.
Meet Jim and Rita.
We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there,
and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow. Right now, a child in our community needs more than a place to stay. They need stability, encouragement, a caring adult who believes in them. St. Charles Youth and Family Services is looking for compassionate people and families to become foster parents. It's through their treatment foster care program. You'll receive training, guidance, and ongoing support every step of the way. Learn more about becoming a foster parent today at stcharlesinc.org. That's stcharlesinc.org. stcharlesinc.org.
Want to stay up to date with the crew?
Track, wall, gone! Jackson Churio goes deep.
Tune in to Brewers Extra Innings with Dominic Cotroneo after every game.
My goodness, another homer from him. It's a reminder that the Brewers had this foresight. He is under team control for at least another 5 seasons. And then the team options on the back end of that.
Or listen anytime on the Brewers All Access podcast feed. We are your home of the Brewers. WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
I'm Vince Vitrano, and this is the Sunday Sip. Business owners, got a question for you. Doesn't matter what size business, small, medium, large, any size business. Here's my question. You're out there, you're doing some digital marketing. Are you happy with the results? Regardless of your answer, I want you to listen to this conversation. I'm joined now by founder and CEO of Margle Media, Shane Krangle. He is with us on the Sunday Sip. Good to see you, Shane.
Hey, good. Thanks for having me.
Tell me real quick, give folks listening who might not be familiar with Margle and what you do. What is Margle Media?
Yeah, well, you nailed it. We're digital marketing. We're proud to say we're almost 9.5 years old and located in beautiful 3rd Ward in downtown Milwaukee. Veteran-owned business, and I like to think I have some of the most talented people in the space, fortunately here in Milwaukee, to help our clients grow.
I know everybody who listens loves veteran-owned businesses, and thank you for your service, Marine.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into what you do. And I mentioned off top, we're speaking to business owners of all sizes because you work with some of the biggest consumer brands on the planet, but you're also local and you serve small and medium-sized businesses as well. So when you're talking to businesses about their digital marketing, many may not even know where to start, or some are out there already. What are you telling folks that they need to be doing in terms of a starting point, Shane?
Great question. So first of all, we have enterprise side, which is your larger more robust companies out there. For them, they don't really need an assessment. We're meeting with them and typically finding out how we can either support their internal teams right away and where their weak points, and or we're working with actually other vendors and agency partners in the same sandbox, as we like to say. So we meet with them, and they usually know pretty well what they need from a digital perspective and how we could come in right away and maybe tackle some of those difficulties they're facing. If it's a small to mid-sized business that's growing, we start right away with an assessment and an audit. We can't figure out what to fix if we don't know what the problem is. Or sometimes they just are using a vendor and they're not seeing the results they need, and we're there to help set a full strategy right from the get-go. The biggest thing, across both sides, whether an enterprise account, custom packages, or small to mid-sized business, is we focus our efforts on the areas they need the most improvement on instead of spreading everything too thin. And I think that's where we see a lot of gaps when people are doing digital marketing is they have a budget, they're trying to do everything, and by doing so, they get marginal lift versus let's pick the areas we know that we can generate leads or sell your product, whatever it might be. Let's focus on one area, own it, and then, kind of crawl, walk, run instead of coming in and doing everything at once and wasting a bunch of your money.
Shane Kringle is with us. He's founder and CEO of Margle Media, based right here in Milwaukee. Shane, it's hard to even define probably for the layman what even digital marketing is. You've got your social media, you've got your AI, you've got evolving platforms. There's always a new one popping up, all of these things and different sort of tools. So how do you at Margle work with clients to sort of cut through all that noise and focus on the things that really matter?
So this might surprise some people. One, I always say trust our process. If you're coming to us as an expert, we need to lead with that. I got a kind of a good example. So we do our best to set expectations up front. And sometimes I think that where agencies can go wrong with helping clients is they tend to agree with the client to do best practices just to win the business. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that doesn't mean you're tactful and that you listen to them, but if we're going to be held responsible for results, we can't be quote unquote yes men. And sometimes, you just go along with what they say, even though the client isn't probably doing the best tactical thing for marketing. I liken it to we just bought a house, and if I went to my GC and was like, hey, you know what? I don't think I need the roof. Well, he could agree with it just to win our business, but we sure as hell will be in a lot of problems down the road.
I was going to say, I take golf lessons, and you'd meet with a golf pro, and he's like, I want you to do this. No, I like my way of doing it.
Right.
Well, but that's why.
It's the same analogy in business. So we're there to be a good partner to support, push back when need be, but we also aren't going to say yes just to say yes. We're here to drive results, otherwise you won't keep working with us.
Shane, businesses want to know whether their marketing dollars are being spent in the right places, whether they're getting those results. So at Margle Media, how do you inform your clients that and show them that they're getting the results that they want?
Well, one, this is pretty cliche in our industry, but it really does all start with data. And what I love most about digital is there's no hiding from the results. They're black and white. If something's not working, that's great because we know exactly what to fix and we can pivot and make iterations and make changes. And again, you're not going to just set and forget something for a whole year and cross your fingers and hope it works. We are in there weekly, tactically changing strategies to match what the economy's given us and where the market is in general. Second would be subjective opinions should be eliminated. There's no need to guess. Again, I'm kind of beating this dead horse. You don't have to overthink it because the data is the data. Mm-hmm. And that is why everyone should have a strong digital marketing plan that isn't guessing. And lastly, immediate results, they're tangible. You can actually see right away, day one, if what we're doing is working. And if it's not, that doesn't mean it's unsuccessful. It means we know that we have to move and pick a new area to fish, quote unquote, and then get those clients, get that business and that revenue up. And that's the standard we want to be held to.
Shane Kringle is the founder and CEO of Margle Media, based right here in Milwaukee. Margle is spelled M-A-R-G-L-E. Would love to have you join Shane for a free initial consultation, see how he can help your business grow. Shane, great to see you.
Thanks, Vince.
I'm Vince Vitrano, and this is the Sunday Sip.
Thank you, Vince. Reporter's Notebook with Adam Roberts up next after the news. I'm going to return at 11 with my conversation about poisoning with toxologist Dr. Ryan Feldman and Brewers Warm Up with Dominic Catronio at noon on WTMJ.
If you're trying to find